Good evening, Manhattan Tower, SS2003, Quincy,
2003 Quincy, radio checks loud and clear. If you're not yet done so already, you can depart at 106th Street layup. Let me know when you have doors open at 96.
I don't have a layup.
$1930 Foxtrot to Church Ave is at 42nd Bryant.
42nd Street, Bryant Park. That is a copy push for the local lineup. Your next callback is 14th Street.
Copy for 14th.
$1931 Echo, calling back at 14th, punching for the local.
31 Echo, that's a copy for 14th. Your next callback is Broadway Lafayette.
Copy for Broadway Lafayette.
1941 Echoes at Court Square.
1941 Echo, Court Square. That is a copy. Your next callback is 5th Avenue, 53rd Street.
10-4.
RCC, this is 2003, Quincy, 96 seconds.
2003 Quincy, you can depart 96th Street, 2nd Avenue. Your next callback is Lexington, 63rd.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Over 1955, Quincy, 96 seconds, still will come back at Times Square, 42nd Street. Much Express.
Quincy, that is a copy for Times Square. Your next callback, 14th Street, Union Square.
Never.
In 37, Nancy, calling back at Prince, punching for the Romeo Lano.
37 Nancy, that is a copy for Prince. Your next callback is Rector Street.
Time for Rector.
1942 Fox at 21st Queen.
1942 Fox at Queen presents the copy push for 6th Avenue lineup. Your next callback is Lexington, 63rd.
Fox calling back at 57th Street.
86th Street. Transfer to the
36 Fox 57th. That is a copy. Your next callback 42nd Street, Bryant Park.
Accessible station. The elevator is at the center of the platform.
The next stop is 72nd Street.
$1930 Foxtrot to Church Ave is at 14th Street.
30 Fox at 14th. That is a copy push for the local lineup. Your next callback, Broadway Lafayette.
Copy for Broadway.
Echo 5th Avenue 53rd, that is a copy push for 6th Avenue lineup and hold. There is a Fox crossing in front of you.
1931
1935 at 14.
At 1931 Echo at Broadway Lafayette, push for 2nd Avenue, middle track, your next callback, your next to last stop, 2nd Avenue.
Copy.
1935 Romeo, Union Square, your next callback is Prince.
Copy Prince Street.
This is 72nd Street.
Transfer is available to the M15 Select Bus Service.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the center of the platform.
Northbound Q train. The next stop is Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street.
This is 1955 Quincy, 96 seconds, still well callback at 14th Street Union Square.
Stand clear of the closing
1955
doors,
Quincy
please.
at Union Square, that is a copy. Call back and hold inside of Prince Street.
1942 Fox at Lexington Avenue.
63rd, that is a copy. Proceed to your next stop, 57th Street.
1945 Ringo, calling back at Queens Plaza.
42 Fox at a copy, 57th. 42 Fox. 45 Romeo at Queens Plaza, push your 60th Street line up your next callback, Lexington 59th.
1933 Fox, calling back
That's my callback for the 42 Fox.
57 1942 Fox.
Train.
A free transfer is
1936
available
Fox,
to
calling back at
4,
42nd.
5, 6,
36
and
Fox at Bryant Park, push for the local unit, callback 14th Street.
Lexington Avenue, 59th
1941
Street
Echo
Station.
holding at 5th Avenue 53rd. You may proceed your next callback 42nd Street, Bryant
This
Park.
is an accessible station. The elevator is at the rear and center of the platform.
Q 3 Quincy, Lexington 63rd, that is a copy. Proceed to Times Square 42nd.
Good Queensboro.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Pete,
1931 Echo terminated at 2nd Avenue.
31 Echo 2nd Avenue, that is a copy. Discharge your passengers, change ends, have no ready, head back up to Jamaica Center. 2003 Quincy, correct, Times Square 42nd.
1930 Foxtrot to Church Ave is at Broadway.
30 Fox, Broadway Lafayette, that is a copy. Push for the Fox line, your next callback is East Broadway.
Copy for 1935 is at Prince Street.
35 Romeo at Prince, that is a copy. Push for the Manhattan Bridge line, your next callback is your next stop, Canal Street, lower level.
Copy for Canal level.
2000 Queensboro.
2000 Nancy at Queensboro, that's a copy. Please hold, there's a Romeo crossing in front of you in the tunnel.
Let's
This is 1955 Quincy, 96 seconds, still well callback inside of Prince Street.
Alright, 1955 Quincy, hold there until further notice. 1942 Fox at 57th Street, hold there, there's an Echo crossing in front of you.
1937 Nancy, calling back at Rector.
37 Nancy Rector, that is a copy. Your next callback is Decall Avenue.
It's on full for decall.
Is a Brooklyn-bound Q Express train.
1941 Echo, 42nd Street, Bryant Park.
Times Square, 42nd.
41 Echo at Bryant Park, that is a copy. Push for the local. Your next
Clear of the
callback is
closing
14th
doors,
Street.
please.
1942 Fox holding at 57th. You can proceed. Your next callback, 42nd Street, Bryant Park. Two Fox, is that a copy for 42nd?
42nd.
1935 Romeo's at Canal Street.
35 Romeo Canal, that is a copy. Push for the Quincy lineup. Your next callback is Peak of the Bridge.
Copy for Peak of the Bridge.
1955 Quincy, may proceed with caution 15 miles per hour to Canal Street, lower level.
10-4.
This is Times Square 42nd Street. Transfer is available to the 1237A
1936 Foxtrot, Columbia 14th Street.
1936 Fox 14th, that is a copy push for the local line. Next callback is Broad Lafayette.
And shuttled to Grand Central. Connection is available to the Port Authority.
2011 Quincy, you may depart 96th Street. Next callback is Lexington 63rd.
Lexington 63rd.
300 Nancy, holding a Queensboro Plaza. You can proceed max speed 25 miles per hour for Lexington 59th.
That's copy for max 25.
3 Quincy at Times Square. Next callback 14th Street, Union Square.
And clear of the closing doors, please.
1945 Romeo calling back at Lexington 59.
Romeo Lex 59, that is a copy. Next callback 57th Street, 7th Avenue.
57th Street, 7th Avenue, copy.
1948 Fox at Queensbridge.
8 Fox, Queensbridge, that is a copy. Push for 6th Avenue line. If your next callback is 57th Street.
1930 Fox to Church Avenue is at East Broadway.
3 Fox at East Broadway, that is a copy. You may proceed. Your next callback is your next stop, York Street.
Copy for York.
This is 34th Street, Herald Square. Transfer is available to the
For the 1931, you want me to check back in?
Are you ready to head back up?
Yeah.
Transfer is available to
Okay, you're the 2014 back up to Jamaica Center.
Connection is available to the path.
This is the 1955 Quincy 96 seconds. Still will call back at Canal Street, lower level, punch over the Quincy lineup.
1955 Quincy at Canal Street, lower level, that is a copy. Your next callback is Peak of the Bridge.
10-4. 1942 Fox at 42nd.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2 Fox, 42nd Street, Bryant Park, that is a copy. Push for the local line. Your next callback is 14th Street.
Copy.
This is the 1935 Romeo calling back at the Peak of the Bridge.
Peak of the Bridge, that is a copy. Your next callback is decob interlocking.
Copy for decob interlocking.
1941 Echo 14th Street.
41 Echo 14th Street, that is a copy. Push for the local line. Your next callback is Broadway Lafayette.
2014 Echo Crescent line up at 2nd Avenue.
2014 Echo, you can depart Jamaica Center. Your next callback is West 4th.
Let's go, people.
2000 Nancy, if you're not yet already done so, you can resume normal speed to Lex 59.
That's copy for normal speed.
$1930 Fox is at York Street.
3 Fox at York, that is a copy. Push for Culver line. If your next callback is Smith 9th.
Copy for Smith 9th.
This is
1936 Foxtrot, calling back at Broad Lafayette.
Transfer is available to the 4
Lafayette, that is a copy. You can push for the Fox line. For your next callback, East Broadway.
W trains.
1945 Romeo calling back at 57th Street, 7th Ave.
45 Romeo, 57th Street, 7th Avenue. There's a copy. Push for the local line. For your next callback, Times Square 42nd.
Times Square, copy. This is the 1935 Romeo decob interlocking.
35 Romeo, decob interlocking. That is a copy. You can proceed. Your next callback is decob Avenue.
Copy decob Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing
2003
doors,
Quincy at
please.
14th Street, Union Square. That is a copy. You can proceed. Your next callback, Canal Street, lower level.
1937 Nancy calling back at decob, punching for them local.
37 Nancy, decob. That is a copy. You can proceed. Your next callback is Atlantic Pacific.
1956 Romeo calling in at Queens Plaza.
6 Romeo, Queens Plaza, that is a copy. Push for 60th Street, line up and hold. There's a train in front of you in the tubes.
Lex 59, 2000.
2000 Nancy, Lex 59, that is a copy. Your next callback, 57th Street, 7th Avenue.
Copy.
1955 Quincy, peak of the bridge. Your next callback is decal interlocking. Alright, 1956 Romeo, you can proceed out of Queens Plaza. Your next callback to Lexington 59th.
Copy, Lex 59.
Fox at 14th Street.
1942 Fox at 14th, that is a copy. Push for the local line if your next callback is Broadway Lafayette.
Backpacks and other large containers are subject to random search by the police.
1941 Echo, Broadway Lafayette.
41 Echo, Broadway Lafayette, that is a copy. Push for 2nd Avenue, middle track. Your next callback is your next and last stop, 2nd Avenue.
1948 Fox at 57th Street, 6th Avenue.
38 Fox 57th, that is a copy. Your next callback, 42nd Street, Bryant Park.
10-4.
1935 Romeo's at DeKalb Avenue.
35 Romeo is DeKalb Avenue, that is a copy. Please hold as a train in front of you heading to Atlantic.
1955 Quincy callback at interlocking.
55 Quincy DeKalb interlocking, that is a copy, and hold you there for a minute. There's a train in front of you holding at DeKalb.
2014 Echo calling back at West 4th, punch for the local.
2014 Echo West 4th, that is a copy. Next callback, 34th Street, Herald Square.
Copy.
1937 Nancy calling back at Atlantic Pacific on the local train.
37 Nancy Atlantic, that is a copy. Your next callback will be 36th Street.
36.
2011 Quebec calling back at Lex 63.
11 Quincy Lexington 63rd, that is a copy. Your next callback is Times Square 42nd.
Times Square.
In 1945 Romeo holding at DeKalb Avenue, you may proceed. Your next callback is 4th Avenue, 9th Street.
J, N,
Copy 4th
R,
Ave,
W, and
1945 Romeo calling back at 42nd Street, Times Square.
5 Romeo, Times Square 42nd, that is a copy. Your next callback is Prince Street.
Copy.
1955 Quincy holding at DeKalb interlock, and you can proceed to DeKalb Avenue.
1941 Echo, 2nd Avenue.
41 Echo 2nd Avenue, that is a copy. Discharge your passengers, change ends. Let me know you're ready to head back up to Jamaica Center. Now lower level for the 2003 Quincy. You may proceed your next callback to Peak of the Bridge.
6 Fox going back to East Broadway.
Peak of the Bridge 2003. 36 Fox at East Broadway. Your next callback to your next stop, York.
2019 Quincy, ready to depart into 19th Street.
2019 Quincy, you can depart the lab. Let me know you have doors open at 96.
2000 Nancy, 57th Street, Midtown.
57th Street, 7th Avenue for the 2000 Nancy as a copy. Push for the local. Your next callback, Times Square 42nd.
Copy for Times Square.
The 1956 Romeo calling in at Lex 59.
Lexington 59th, that is a copy. Your next callback, 57th Street, 7th Avenue.
Copy.
2019 Quincy at 96.
Repeat.
2019 Quincy at 96.
2019 Quincy 96 Street, 2nd Avenue, that is a copy. Your next callback, Lexington 63rd.
1942 Fox at Broadway Lafayette.
1942 Fox Broadway Lafayette, that is a copy. Push to the Fox line of your next callback, East Broadway.
Copy.
1955 Quincy call, DeKalb, Point of Brighton.
Call for the 55 Quincy, that is a copy. Your next callback will be Prospect Park.
Time for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an important message from the New York City Police Department. Keep your belongings in sight at all times. Protect yourself. If you see a suspicious package or activity on the platform or train,
1936 Fox at York, that is a copy. Push for Culver Line. Your next callback is Smith Knight.
MTA employee. Remain alert and have a safe day.
Keep to the bridge.
Get the bridge for 2003 Quincy, that is a copy. Your next callback is decal interlocking.
1930 Foxtrot. So Church Ave is at Smith and 9th.
1930 Fox Smith Knife, that is a copy. Push to the Fox lineup. Your next callback is Fort Hamilton Parkway.
Copy for Fort Hamilton.
Times Square 42nd Street for the 2000 Nancy.
100 Nancy, Times Square 42nd, that is a copy. Push for the local. Your next callback, 14th Street, Union Square.
Copy for Union Square.
2014 Echo, calling back at 34th Herald, punching for the local.
4th Herald for the 2014 Echo, that is a copy. Your next callback will be 57th Street.
Copy for 57th.
Quebec calling back at Times Square.
2011 Quebec at Times Square 42nd as a copy. Push for the express line for your next callback, 14th Street, Union Square.
14th Union.
1956 Romeo calling in at 57th Street.
6 Romeo, 57th Street, 7th Avenue, that is a copy. Push for the local line for your next callback, Times Square 42nd.
Copy.
This is the 1935 Romeo at 9th Street.
35 Romeo, 4th Avenue, 9th Street, that is a copy. Your next callback will be 36th Street.
Copy 36.
$1956 Romeo, what was my callback?
56 Romeo, your callback is Times Square 42nd.
It's
Copy.
3 Quincy, decal interlock, and that is a copy. You can proceed to decal Avenue.
1942 Fox at East Broadway.
2 Fox, East Broadway, that is a copy. Proceed to your next stop, York.
Copy.
This is the 1937 Nancy calling back at 36th Street.
37 Nancy at 36th Street, that is a copy. Your next callback, 59th Street.
Time for 53rd.
2019 Quincy, Lexington, 63rd.
2019 Quincy, Lexington, 63rd, that is a copy. Your next callback, Times Square 42nd.
Copy.
The 1941 Act goes ready.
This is DeKalb Avenue.
That is a copy. You will be the 2026 back up to Jamaica Center.
And R trains.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the front of the platform.
2026 Echo, line up at 2nd Avenue.
26 Echo, you can depart 2nd Avenue. Your next callback, West 4th.
1956 Romeo calling in at Times Square 42nd.
56 Romeo, Times Square 42nd as a copy. Push for the local. Your next call back, 23rd Street.
Copy.
Three Quincy at DeKalb Avenue. That is a copy. Your next callback is Prospect Park.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2014 Echo calling back at 57th Street.
13 Echo 57th, that is a copy. Push for Queens lineup. Your next callback is Roosevelt Island.
That's a copy.
Romeo calling back at Prince.
45 Romeo at Prince, that is a copy. Push for the Manhattan Bridge lineup. Your next callback is your next stop, Canal Street, lower level.
Canal Street, lower level, copy. 14th Street, Union Square.
And 1411. Yeah, that is a copy. Your next callback is Prince.
2011, can we make a connection?
What stop you at?
I'm at 14th Union.
Oh, then we made a connection.
Alright, copy. Connection established. 2000 Nancy, 2011 Quincy. 100 Nancy, your callback is still Prince Street. 2011 Quincy, your callback is to hold inside of Prince Street till further notice.
Copy for 20 Prince Street.
1955 Quincy, callback Prospect Park, punch for Brighton local.
55 Quincy at Prospect Park, that is a copy. Your next callback is Church Avenue.
2011 Quincy.
York.
Alright, 2011 Quincy, your callback is to hold inside of Prince Street till further notice.
Prince Street, that's a copy.
1942 Fox at York, push for Culver lineup. Your next callback, Smith 9th.
Copy.
This is Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center. Transfer is available to the 234
You said Smith?
BD.
1942 Fox, Smith 9th.
Connection is available to the Long Island Railroad.
This
1935 Romeo at 36th Street.
The elevator
36, that has a copy. 4th Avenue lineup. Your next callback, 59th Street.
Copy 9.
Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound Q local train. The next stop is 7th Avenue.
1930 Fox Russell Church Avenue is at Fort Hamilton.
Doors, please.
30 Fox at Fort Hamilton, that is a copy. Push for the golf lineup. Your next callback is your next and last stop, Church Avenue.
That is a copy.
1937 Nancy calling back at 59th Street.
37 Nancy at 59th Street, 4th Avenue, that is a copy. Your next callback is New Year Trip.
Telephone New Year Trip.
1945 Romeo calling back at Canal.
45 Romeo Canal, lower level, that is a copy. Push for the Quincy lineup. Your next callback is the Peak of the Bridge.
1936
Copy.
Fox, calling back at Smith 9th.
36 Fox, Smith 9th, that is a copy. Push for the local lineup. Your next callback is Fort Hamilton Parkway.
Copy Fort Hamilton.
2011 Quincy, calling back at Prince Street.
Okay, the 2011 Quincy at Prince, you are going to proceed max speed 15 miles per hour to Canal Street, lower level.
Canal Street 15.
1956 Romeo calling in at 23rd Street.
26 Echo West 4th, push for the local lineup. Your next callback, 34th Street, Herald Square. 1956 Romeo at 23rd, your next callback will be Prince Street.
Copy.
2019 Quincy at 42nd.
Quincy Times Square, 42nd as cog, push for the Express. Your next callback, 14th Street, Union Square.
Copy.
This is 1955 Quincy, calling back at Church Avenue on the local.
Quincy Church, that is a copy of full on to Kings Highway, call back there.
Number Kings Highway.
2000 Prince Street.
100 Nancy Prince, that is a copy. Push for Whitehall Street, lineup. Your next callback is Rector Street.
Copy for Rector.
Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound Q local train. The next stop is Prospect Park.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Not 2014 Echo calling back at Roosevelt Island.
14 Echo Roosevelt Island has a copy. Switch over to Queenstown for further instructions. Thank you. Save the rest of your trip.
That's a copy.
1945 Romeo calling at the peak of the bridge.
25 Romeo, peak of the bridge. That is a copy. Your next callback is decob interlocking.
Decob interlocking, copy.
1930 Fox Church Ave is at Church Ave, punching for the layup.
3 Fox at Church, that is a copy. You can discharge your passengers. Call back to the layup.
Copy.
Quincy calling back at Canal Street.
11 Quincy Canal, lower level, that is a copy. Push for the Quincy line. Your next callback is the peak of the bridge. You may resume normal speed.
Peak of the bridge, normal speed.
This is the 1935 Romeo, 59 4th Avenue.
35 Romeo, 59 4th Avenue, that is a copy. Push for Bay Ridge lineup. Your next callback is your last stop, Bay Ridge 95th.
Copy for 95th.
Quincy at 14th.
Prospect Park. Transfer
At
is
14th
available
Street,
to
Union
the
Square, that is a copy. Your next callback will be to hold inside of Prince Street until further notice.
The elevator is
Copy.
at the front of the platform.
1945 Romeo calling back at the decob interlocking.
45 Romeo, decob interlocking, that is a copy. You can proceed to Decob Avenue.
Decob, copy.
26 Echo 34th Street, Herald Square.
2003 Quincy Prospect Park, push for Brighton Local. Your next callback, Newkirk Plaza.
Closing doors, please.
26 Echo 34th Street, Herald Square, push for the local lineup. Your next callback is 57th Street.
1956 Romeo calling back at Prince Street.
6 Romeo Prince, that is a copy. Push your Manhattan Bridge lineup. Your next callback, Canal Street, lower level.
Copy.
11 Quincy, peak of the bridge.
11 Quincy, peak of the bridge, that is a copy. Your next callback, decob interlocking.
Decob interlocking.
New York for the 1937 Nancy, that is a copy. Your next callback is Kings Highway.
1930 Fox Church Ave is at layup.
Fox at the layup, that is a copy. You can lock down your train. Thank you for your service. Have a good night.
You have a good night too.
1942 Fox at Smith 9.
42 Fox, Smith 9, that is a copy. Push for the local lineup. Your next callback is Fort Hamilton Parkway.
This is Parkside Avenue.
Calling back at decob.
45 Romeo, Decob Avenue, that is a copy. Push for 4th Avenue local lineup. Your next callback is 4th Avenue, 9th Street.
4th Ave, 9th, copy.
2019 Quincy, holding at Prince Street.
2019 Quincy, that is a copy. Continue to hold at Prince. There's a Romeo in front of you heading into Canal Street.
Rector Street, 2000.
2000 Nancy at Rector, that is a copy. Your next callback is Decob Avenue.
1936 Foxtrot calling back at Fort Hamilton.
1936 Fox, Fort Hamilton, that is a copy. Push for the Fox lineup. Your next callback is 18th Avenue.
Alpha 18.
1956 Romeo at Canal Street, lower level.
56 Romeo Canal, that is a copy. Push for the Quincy lineup. Your next callback is the peak of the bridge.
Copy.
319 Quincy, holding inside of Prince, proceed max speed 15 miles per hour to Canal Street, lower level, call back there.
Transfer is available to the B train.
Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound Q local train. The next stop is Beverly Road.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Echo 26 Echo 57, that is a copy. Push for Queens, line up your next call back is Roosevelt Island.
111 Quincy, default interlocking.
Decob interlocking, that is a copy. You may proceed to Decob Avenue.
Decob out.
Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound Q local train. The next stop is Cortelliu Road.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2019 Quincy at my bad. Canal Street, lower level.
2019 Quincy Canal, that is a copy. Resume normal speed. Your next call back to peak of the bridge.
Definitely.
1956 Romeo at the peak of the bridge.
6 Romeo, peak of the bridge, that is a copy. Your next call back is decalled interlocking.
Copy.
This is the Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound Q local train. The next stop is Newkirk Plaza.
This is 1955 Quincy, 96 seconds, still will come back at Kings Highway. Overshot by 0 cars, 0 doors.
55 Quincy, Kings Highway, that is a copy. Push for the local lineup. Your next callback is Brighton Beach.
Stand for it.
$1937 Nancy, coming back at Kings Highway, Sea Beach.
Nancy, Kings Highway, that is a copy. Push for the local lineup. Your next callback will be your last stop, Coney Island, Stillwell.
For the last stop, Coney Island, Stillwell.
This is the 1935 terminated 95th Street.
35 Romeo, Bay Ridge 95th, that is a copy. You can discharge your passengers. Terminate your train. Thank you for your service. Have a good night.
Copy.
This is Newkirk Plaza. Transfer is available to the B train.
1945 Romeo calling back at 4th Ave 9th.
4th Avenue, 9th Street, that is a copy. Your next callback will be 36th Street.
36th Street, copy.
111 Quebec calling back at DeKalb Ave.
11 Quincy at DeKalb Avenue, that is a copy. Push for the Brighton lineup. Your next callback will be Prospect Park.
Prospect Park.
The next stop is
303 Quincy, Newkirk Plaza, that is a copy. Your next callback, Kings Highway.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2019 Quincy, peak of the bridge.
2019 Quincy, peak of the bridge, that is a copy. Your next callback will be decob interlocking.
Definitely.
6 Echo Roosevelt Island, that is a copy. Switch over to Queens Tower for further instructions. Thank you. Have a safe rest of your trip.
Avenue H.
1942
This
Fox
is
at
an
4
accessible
Hamilton
station. The ramp
Fox at
is
4
at the
Hamilton, that
rear
is a
of the
copy. Push for the
platform.
golf line and call back at your next and last stop, Church Avenue.
This is a Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound Q local train. The next stop is Avenue J.
1956 Romeo's at the interlocking.
Please.
Romeo, decal interlocking, that is a copy. May proceed to Dekalb Avenue.
That's a copy.
DeKalb Avenue, 2000 Nancy.
Dekalb Avenue, that is a copy. Push for 4th Avenue. Local lineup, your next callback is 4th Avenue, 9th Street.
Copy 4th 9th.
This is Avenue J.
Fox, calling back at 18th Avenue.
6 Fox at 18th Avenue, that is a copy. Your next callback, Kings Highway.
Alpha Kings.
2019 Quincy, Hall interlock.
2019 Quincy Dekalb interlocking, that is a copy. Please hold to the train from getting to Dekalb Avenue.
Copy.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
1942 Fox at Church Avenue.
1942 Fox at Church Avenue, that is a copy. Discharge your passengers, take your train to the layup.
Copy.
$1956 Romeo, Dekalb Avenue.
56 Romeo, Dekalb Avenue, that is a copy. Please hold, there's a Nancy in front of you getting to Atlantic.
Copy.
This is Avenue M.
Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound Q local train. The next stop is Kings Highway.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
$1945 Romeo calling back at 36.
There's a cop for 4th Avenue, line up your next callback, 59th Street.
59th Street, copy.
1956 Romeo holding at Dekalb Avenue, you can push for 4th Avenue, line up your next callback, is Atlantic Pacific.
Copy.
Alright, the 2019 Quincy holding at Dekalb interlocking, may proceed to Dekalb Avenue.
Copy.
This is the 1955 Quincy, 96 Stillwell, call back at Brighton Beach.
Brighton Beach for the 1955 Quincy, that is a copy. Your next callback will be your last stop, Coney Island, Stillwell.
Subway.
1942 Fox train is at the layup.
42 Fox at the layup, that is a copy. You can lock down your train. Thank you for your service. Have a good night.
This is Kings Highway. Transfer is available to the B train. Transfer to the B82 Select Bus Service.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the center of the platform.
Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue bound Q local.
Kings Highway, that is a copy. Your next callback will be Brighton Beach.
1937 Nancy terminated. Coney Island, Stillwell.
Doors, please.
Nancy, Coney Island, Stillwell, that is a copy. You can discharge your passengers. Terminate your train. Thank you for your service. Have a good night.
Time for you too.
2019 Quincy to Cobb Avenue.
19 Quincy at DeKalb Avenue, that is a copy. Push for the Brighton lineup. Your next callback will be Prospect Park.
10.